sun comes up in the morning, it's spectacular if it's a nice day.
It was amazing. It's so much bigger than I expected.
There's no other bridge that looks like this around. The color, the Art Deco design, it's beautiful.
The Golden Gate Bridge really is an icon, and it's an international icon. It's a symbol of the ingenuity and the resourcefulness of the American people.
I think it symbolizes America, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. It's just something that you hear about from, your childhood. It's like one of the places to see.
I always like bringing out-of-town guests because you get such great views and stuff of the city. It's just a fun place to come to.
The Golden Gate Bridge, when it was built in 1937, was far and away the longest bridge that had ever been built.
Today, the Golden Gate Bridge remains the 7th longest suspension bridge in the world. It's over 1.5 miles long and rises more than 50 stories above the water. The two main suspension cables contain 80,000 miles of steel wire, long enough to circle the Earth 3 times.
Many people assume that the Golden Gate Bridge just is, and they don't consider the fact that it takes a lot of people to run it on a day-to-day basis and a lot of people to maintain it.
I think we need to touch these up here. My name is Herbert Gabriel. I've been a bridge painter now for 17 years.
Happy Friday, Pete. I'm Dennis Silva. I've been working on the bridge for 13 years.
My name is Mark Curran, and I'm a lane worker for the Golden Gate Bridge.
My name is Herb Lopez, and I'm a sergeant here with the Golden Gate Bridge.
Okay, my name's Forrest Becker. I'm an iron worker. I can weld anything that needs welding.
If we're gonna walk the cable, we may as well have a day like this.
Got that right. Joe Van Bon and Glenn Sievert are iron workers who frequently ascend the bridge towers to conduct structural inspections and do repairs.
Well, the first time I ever came up here, as I walked through that hatch coming out of the strut, my heart was in my throat. I think most people get that feeling. Nice day for a stroll on the main cable.
Some days, typically most days, you get a lot stronger winds and get a little more nervousness on those days. Of course, I keep my eyes shut while I'm walking up the cable so I don't have to look down. Only kidding.
Let's check the tightness on that one bolt right there.
No, she's solid.
Okay. We're iron workers. We try to maintain the steel, maintain the iron itself. We change angles, plates, lacings, rivets, bolts, and don't forget, iron workers built this bridge.
Well, certainly day to day, the view is going to change out here between your sunny days and the foggy days. And when you've got the sun coming up in the morning and you see the shadows on the headlands behind us, that's pretty spectacular. Days when you have the low-lying fog and you get an opportunity to come up the tower and you're above it, kind of silences the roadway a little bit, puts you in a little different world. That's pretty spectacular. Being able to say this is what I do, being up here, being able to look down and enjoy the view, it's a great place to be.
The fog's starting to roll in a little bit, but I think we'll be all right.
Iron workers aren't the only bridge crew that walks the main cable. Herbert Gabriel and Ron Chatham come up here to apply the bridge's signature color.
The most commonly asked question is, how long does it take to paint the bridge? And do we start at one end and go to the other? Actually, we don't. We pick the worst case scenario spots, tackle that, and then move on.
We work in partners. You very rarely, or actually never, will see one person up here at a time. And you notice every once in a while I look back and I look at him because I want to make sure he's still there. Definitely, it's a particular type of breed of person that has to be up here. Not too many people want to come up here and be up high like this, but I rather enjoy it. Working high up above like this, you got to be very aware of your paint. You can't let it fall. You got to stay on the steel. You got to be aware of yourself. You got to be aware of your conditions, and never aware of the weather.
best part of my day is going home safe to my family. You look back at the day and you see that you put a good coat of paint on the bridge. You go home, you had a good day. Start all over again tomorrow.
Every day starts like this. This small area here is the ironworker shop of the Golden Gate Bridge. And we fabricate pieces for the bridge, do a lot of specialty work. It could be anything as small as a little camera mount or a strut to replacing an entire member. They come to us often without the solution, and we're given our own design to come up with something, and we do.
They needed to get some cameras out at midspan. They decided they wanted it below the lights. I liked the curves of the bridge and that, so I drew up the design to match the light poles. Anything that's visible, I make it fit in with the bridge like it's always been there. That's important. When I finish a job sometimes, if part of it will be well hidden, I go ahead and I stamp my name and the date it was built, and then years from now, when someone takes it down, they'll see who built this.
There's been rumor, and I don't think we even know, that the last rivet driven this bridge was gold rivet. And I'll tell you, we've diligently looked for that particular rivet. Haven't found it yet, but there's always hope.
Sergeant's Office, Golden Gate Bridge. Hey, it's at the limit both ways.
This is the bridge's command center, where Sergeant Daniel Gomez and his staff carry out two important duties: managing bridge security and keeping traffic flowing smoothly.
We're the ones that have to react if there's an accident or if there's a Giants game. We're the ones that actually tell the people to change the lane configuration on the bridge.
The hardest part of this job is making sure we have the roads set up for the early morning commutes. And basically what we do is we have one man in each bucket of the truck here. Left side is the man who pulls up the tubes, and the right side is the man who implements the tubes into the roadway. Occasionally we miss some, but it's a game. Sometimes we're able to get through without missing anything. We call them no-hitters. It's for an adrenaline junkie, that's for sure. Someone who likes to put their life right on the edge out there. But it's a job, you know. We really love doing it. It's fun.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Good morning. Hi. Hi. Thank you. Basically, I would say that I'm an ambassador really for the bridge. I'm the first person they actually see. Yeah, happy Friday. Thank you. I would say the best part of the job is the meeting all the people. Morning, Karen. Thanks, Bob. Happy Friday. If you hear everybody, they think we have an easy job, and it's not. We stand most at 8 hours. Good morning. We're not allowed to sit, basically. Thanks. And the reason we stand is they've learned over the years that you take toll smoother and faster when you're standing than when you're sitting. The most fun at Christmas time is when they start paying for the car behind them, you know, and it actually becomes a chain reaction, and we just think it's wonderful. The first one will pay, and we'll say, go ahead, the guy in front of you paid or the woman in front of you paid, and they'll look up at you with these big eyes and they'll go, really? And then they'll go, okay, well, I'll pay for the next person. I think that went on one year for me. It went on 18 times in a row that they just kept paying for the next person until the last person went, great, and just drove right on through. That's really a lot of fun.
We had great men back in the 30s that built this bridge, and I feel pride in maintaining it. I get a lot of tourists that comes and thank me for keeping up the bridge, you know, and that makes me feel good too.
You've got an edifice out here that's recognized as a monument probably worldwide, and you play a small part, you know, and puff your shoulders back and, you know, and I did this or I did that.
You pretty much think about it every day, that you're on something that everybody looks at. Everybody crosses, it's always in the news, it's always in the papers, so you want to do your best.
I know it's going to be a time down the road. I can look back, tell my grandkids, I painted that bridge. I was up on that tower. I did that main cable. I think that'll be satisfying when it's all said and done.
It's an honor to work here, and anywhere I go in the world, people find out that I work at the Golden Gate Bridge. They're always very impressed and want to hear stories. All in all, it's a beautiful place to work, a great group of people, and every day you come in, and it's another day at the world's most famous bridge.